Welcome back to another episode of Dreamedia's Mancave Makeover. I'm your host, Zach, and on today's episode, we're installing our acoustics that are sponsored by Vicoustics. Let's start with the basics. What exactly are acoustics, and why are they so important to home theater? Acoustics is the science of sound and how it behaves in a particular environment. In a home theater, good acoustics are critical to achieving high-quality audio and immersive sound that transports you into a movie's world. Without proper acoustic treatment, sound can bounce off of walls and ceilings, creating echoes, reverberations, and distortion, which negatively affect audio quality. For example, the black cinema round absorption panel is an excellent solution for reducing excessive low-frequency reverberation in your home theater. The DC3 multi-diffuser is designed to scatter sound waves evenly in all directions. It features a unique geometric pattern that breaks up sound waves and diffuses them, creating a more natural and immersive audio experience. Before installing any Vicoustic products, it's important to measure your room's acoustics and determine the best place for the products to achieve optimal acoustic performance. Overall, the installation process for Vicoustic products is simple and straightforward, but it's important to take the time to ensure proper installation for optimal acoustic performance. As you guys have seen on previous episodes, we have been transforming this bedroom. The winner had tried to renovate this room himself, but due to his back injury was not able to do so. There was wires hanging everywhere, holes in the wall, baseboards and trim ripped off. I mean, it was a war zone in here. We even had a couple windows, and we completely transformed this room into an epic, full-blown home theater with columns, lighting above, lighting on the columns. We wired it for a 7.2.4 Dolby Atmos system, as well as put in a dedicated circuit breaker just for this room so the AV equipment can operate flawlessly. We're gonna be taking this to the next level. As you may be able to hear in the space currently, we still do have a little bit of reverberation, a little echo, even though we have some really nice, thick, plush carpet laid on the floor. So today we're gonna make this room as acoustically neutral as possible. We're gonna be using a couple different options for acoustics from our manufacturer Vicoustics. We are gonna be using absorption. This is a cinema round in the black color, as well as we're gonna be using a little diffusion action at the rear of the room to liven up the space. We don't want a dead room. We don't want an anechoic chamber, but we also don't want to sound like we're sitting in a concert hall or a gymnasium. So we're trying to find a nice natural balance between the two. With these two products here, we are able to do that. Next, we're gonna be moving on to the installation of the cinema rounds as well as the DC3 multi-diffuser. All right, before we get into our installation, I wanted to go over some of the tools and the standard operating procedure for installing the acoustics. These things are crazy easy to install, guys. You're only gonna need a few things. Whenever you buy your absorption or diffusers, you're gonna need to adhere it to the wall in some way or another. They offer a few different options for mounting these to the wall, but the easiest option is to use their Flexi Glue. It's essentially just an adhesive that is going to be put onto the back of the unit, and then we hold it to the wall for 5 minutes as it adheres. In addition to that, this is not included. This is something that you're gonna need. This is a caulking gun, and you put the Flexi Glue into the caulking gun. You'll need to purchase this separately from either like a Home Depot or a Lowe's, your local home improvement store. In addition to the Flexi Glue, you're also gonna need a couple other basic things. A tape measure to determine where you wanna put your acoustics. Also, I recommend grabbing some electrical tape or a pencil so that you can mark out on the wall where you're going to put them. Now, once you're ready to start the installation, you grab your Flexi Glue Ultra and cut off the tip so that you can put your head on it to then spread out the glue throughout the back of the panel. Now that I've opened up the top, I'm gonna put my nozzle on, and then I'm gonna insert it into my caulking gun. And then you just press your handle a couple times, flip over your acoustic treatment, and start applying. Before I put the adhesive on, I do want to measure out the wall so that I know where to put my acoustic treatments. And then I'm going to mark it with my electrical tape. Next, we're going to install our flexi glue on the back of the acoustic treatment. On these absorption panels, they do hold really well and they're not super heavy, so you don't need to go crazy. These absorption panels are very light, so something like that is more than sufficient. So the first thing that we're gonna do is measure out where we want the acoustic treatments. On this wall, I want them, the first panel centered with my sconces and the second panel to fall directly below, as well as I want it centered between my columns. So I'm gonna measure that out. Then I'm gonna take my electrical tape and mark out exactly on the wall where I want them. So as you can see, this is gonna be the center and the middle. And then we want to determine the top and the bottom of the panel. So I'm gonna mark it out on the wall. Okay, it's really hard to get the first panel going. So I always recommend being really careful with your measurements and getting it exactly where you want for the first panel. Then the next one should just fall right in line. So this is gonna be the edge of the acoustic treatment, and this is gonna be the bottom. So I'm gonna remove my middle mark, and then I can stick it to the wall. The next thing you wanna ensure is that the unit is level with earth. Next, I'm gonna take my absorption panel and I'm gonna stick it to the wall. And then lastly, you wanna apply a bit of pressure so that it smashes that glue out, dispersing the surface area so that you have a better chance of it sticking. These are super light, it doesn't take a whole lot. So I'm just gonna hold it here for a moment to make sure that it is fully adhered to the wall. Can you hear that, guys? We have just changed the acoustic environment in this space dramatically. This is really important to notate. A lot of companies out there don't talk about acoustics, and a lot of homeowners don't think about acoustics whenever they're building their home theater. You can get less expensive speakers and invest in acoustics to get the sound of the room feeling neutral, and your speakers are gonna perform exceptionally better than if you were to purchase some high-end speakers and do absolutely no room acoustics. Even the camera guys filming this episode just said, wow, Zach, when we just finished the acoustics in this space, I could audibly hear a difference in your voice whenever we're filming. I mean, this makes a huge difference. So now we have all of our absorption cinema round panels from Vicoustics up on the wall between our columns, the side of the room, and also at the back here we have our diffuser, and this is gonna liven up the surround effects. Not that we need it. We are running 4 surround speakers for surrounds as well as surround backs. So you're gonna feel that car ripping around you all the way to the back. In addition to that, when there's like a helicopter or rain, you're gonna feel from above you these 4 Dolby Atmos speakers. This installation is moving along beautifully, and next we are gonna be getting our salamander designs ultra short throw cabinet up here and installing our LS800 from Epson. In this space, we did a combination of absorption and diffusion, which has prepared the room acoustically for optimal sound quality. Stay tuned for the next episode of Dreamedia Mancave Makeover.